Hello. Don't you just hate Photoshop? Don't you just hate Photoshop? Yeah? Me too. Me too. Like, why? Why does it? Oh, Lord. Okay. Sorry about these technical difficulties. Come on, Photoshop, you can do it. You can do it. Hi, Imon. I'm gonna be doing some studies. Might take some different approaches to each study depending on what it is I'm trying to study. I'm just trying to have a good time, and Photoshop is honestly getting in my way. It's not nice. It's very mean. Is this Photoshop? Are you working now? Beautiful. A beautiful working Photoshop. Look at this. Hola. Bam. See? This is the heaven that I wanted. Let's get painting. Hi, Sir Pav. Sir Pav. How's it going? How's that? Yeah, that's what I just want to mess up the canvas a little bit before I start painting. Get it a bit rough and ready. And then, and then what? Good question. And then I think I'm gonna outline the subject. We have something approximating helmet. And then we can dramatically warm that tone up. Background like that. And probably drop this down a notch. Right. First things first. Why? Hello, Douglas. Yeah. And we've got a big warm carries on there. Then this gets darker. That's kind of interesting. Blue. We can afford to get some blues in. And probably lift up a lot of the brightness. Here. Greetings, Budster. Greetings, Regiux. Or Regiux. Yes. Emphasize shadow value, and then we're gonna have golden. Let's see. Where do I find my refs? Pinterest. Find them on Pinterest. I was actually thinking of making a YouTube video on using Pinterest like a garden, because that's effectively what it is. It's like you grow little photos as plants, and then you can cross-pollinate them to get new plants, or to like spice up plants you've got. You can it's kind of comparable to gardening in the sense that you need to regularly go through and prune out references that you don't want to see anymore, and maybe introduce new references, that kind of thing. I thought it could make quite a fun video, and it's kind of an important topic because references are ridiculously important. I see a lot of people studying from references that I would personally consider bad, in the sense that if you study from them, you might pick up some of the negative aspects. Like you get a lot of photos on Pinterest that have been massively color balanced and edited, and a lot of the time they just look like garbage, and if you're copying that, then you might get some bad habits. But you know, references taste as well. References personal taste. Obviously, if you use a different style and variety of references to me, that's going to reflect in your art, and you're gonna get more of a unique look because of that, I guess. Yeah, I think it'd be a fun video to make. I'm really awful for getting references because I'm very, very indecisive as a person. So I'll just sit there for hours staring at Pinterest boards. So it's probably a skill I could do with getting good at myself. Obviously down here. To kind of artificially change the proportions of this ally without thinking about it. Video on references. Just reference images to avoid reference images to look for. It depends entirely on what you're trying to study as well, which I think people don't appreciate a lot of the time. Like if you're in my Discord server, I've set this horror brief, and I recommended that people study Oleg Vudenko. Now, obviously, that's a very specific guy to look at, considering the very specific brief. and you have to be just as specific when you're thinking about what you want to study. You know, are you studying values? Maybe you need to look at some film noir screenshots and paint from them. Are you studying color? Okay, what color? Do you want to study like cinematic color? Do you want to study color in animation? That kind of thing. I think it deserves more nuance than it gets a lot of the time. Oh, you want to study anatomy? Well, what kind? It's no use studying lots of references of people in massive heavy cloths if you're trying to study the kind of core anatomy and muscles and stuff. Equally, if you're only interested in studying drapery, you know, you should gear your references towards that goal. Let's this is getting to a point where I'm happy with it. Wanna glaze over this area and then go back in with like the default color, basically. Reinforce this funky mechanism thing. Yeah. Hello, Uyunia. You guys are really trying to catch me out with some of these names. So many of these. You know what I could probably do? I could probably just sample them with the mixer brush like that. Then put them back down. That's where. Right, and that is a 20-minute helmet. That's fun. Yeah, I could probably clean up it, but I think I've got what I want out of it, which is mainly the kind of material properties. I could I'm on the way. Let's make a bit of this here and there. But pretty much that. Yeah. Sorry for the relentless flipping back and forward. It's habit that I'm not gonna change anytime soon because it's a really useful habit. Hello, Cisco. That's... Bro. That's one down. You know what? Yeah, sure. I'll have that border. What time is it there? 7:30 in the evening. 7:30. Let's just save it out. And then we have some options for the next study. We have a tank, a pistol, and a bolt action rifle. So let me know which one of those you want me to paint first. While I go and get a drink. Tank. Tank it is. Ever popular tank. Probably not the kind of tank you're expecting. There you go. Plop. 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 Here we have a tank. It's a beautiful, beautiful black and white. I want to see if I can render some of these forms like fairly efficiently. So we'll see. Like, yeah, can we reduce this to one big shadow shape? I don't know. Fungus tank. Yeah, that's the one. And then obviously like how simple can we get this bit here? Goes in. It's got a gun that comes out. What drawing gear do I use? I use a Wacom Intuos. I could have an entire rant about why I dislike display tablets, but I don't know if you want to save yourselves from that. Tips for digital painting? Yeah. Practice makes perfect. There you go, there's your tip. Elaborate. What am I elaborating on? And Hello Albino and Alex Ward. Alex's sword. Yeah, let me know what I'm meant to be elaborating on, please. Bonk. Some sort of mechanism there. My dislike for display tablets. I am far-sighted, which means I should probably be wearing my glasses at the moment, but I'm an idiot, so I'm not. So when things are just about past monitor distance for me, they come into focus, and there is no way I can comfortably use a display tablet without having my face pressed up against it. means I get bad headaches. And, back pain is another big thing. When I'm sat with my intros, I can sit in quite a relaxed position, you know, with my arm resting on my chair, and my head is far enough away from my monitor. It's the kind of thing that you don't worry about as a kid or whenever you're kind of growing up, but then all of a sudden you wake up and your body aches and you think, why did I ever do this to myself? That's the problem. Yeah, if you've seen my video on YouTube about drawing with a mouse, it's exactly why I had so much fun drawing with a mouse, and I recommend it. Because you are fully reclining in your chair, as relaxed as anyone can humanly be. Just having a little paint with a mouse. This, I feel as though I've made a bit of a pixie with this top bit, but that's okay. How's my work going? Work's going well. It's nice to come home, and I've been getting back into like video games, because when I was a full-time student for like 3 years, playing video games is kind of difficult because you just feel like you have a ridiculous amount of free time, which means you don't, the games have no value to you because you feel like you're wasting your life away. But when you come home from work, because you've been out all day, you kind of value the fact that you can just switch off your brain and play a game a bit more. So I've been playing games in the Fallout series. I played New Vegas, and I racked up like, I don't know, like 30 something hours in a week, because I was playing it for 2 hours. So I would wake up and I would play it for 2 hours before I went to work, and then I would come home from work and play it for about 2 hours. So I was lots of video gaming. Your neck hurts if you draw in a sketchbook on your lap for too long. Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, Wacom has, and you don't have to use Wacom, but Wacom's released, you know, they have big stands for their Cintiqs and display tablets, which I understand are meant to alleviate a lot of this kind of strain and back pain. But then the problem is I've got to have my hand in a really awkward position drawing on like a vertical surface instead of a flat surface, which seems a bit weird. And then, yeah, obviously, Jorgen, you're right there. The price, it's just anyone who uses a pen tablet, not a display tablet, will tell you that after, you know, the first couple of weeks, you just get used to it. Because yeah, there's a disconnect between looking at something and drawing on something else, but you get used to that very fast. Whereas you'll never get used to the hole in your wallet where your money used to be. Because Christ, some display tablets, the price on them when they, it's a comfort thing. Like Feng Zhu's a great example. He's like world famous concept artist, worked on Star Wars and everything else. And whenever he goes to studios, he requests that they find like an old intros, because that's what he uses and that's what he enjoys. I can't blame him. That's clean up this background a bit. When you do studies, you sometimes start by using the negative space to outline the object. When should we do that? So I've just done that with this one, and I would say when the silhouette is strong enough to support itself. I wouldn't do with this. You know, if I'm starting this one and I'm fairly confident that I can isolate the subject by using negative space, then I can draw it, and it's a fairly simple thing, you know. But I'm not, in no universe am I gonna take this tank and then start isolating the negative space. It also depends on how much contrast there is within within a given subject. So this might appear to have quite a high contrast range because you've got these ridiculous bright whites and then like black, but actually the majority of it is in this kind of 30-40% mid-tone, so it kind of works. Whereas again, this tank, you have like these massive bright bits on the top, which are kind of the color of the background. So it wouldn't make sense to use negative space to isolate it if parts of it are the same value as the background, you see. It's very much a kind of feely thing. You get used to situations where it might be useful. It's not something you have to worry about too much. It's just something to think about, especially if you want to like freshen up your work, that you feel like maybe the way you're painting is getting a bit stagnated. Then I would recommend just trying as many different methods as possible. I mean, yesterday's stream we started with a black and white sketch, and then we went into color, which I don't really do very often, but because it was kind of refreshing and I don't do it very often, I think we got a nice result. Some people choose to do the kind of negative spacey thing after the fact rather than at the start, like a lot of Leyendecker paintings have this effect where he will have gone out and just smartened up the edges at the very end, and that's an option as well. Like that's the Leyendecker look that every concept artist in the world has done at some point. You find the only thing you struggle with when using non-display tablets is drawing accurate ellipses. Yeah, I can understand that. It's just something, like, a lot of the time it doesn't, there's no connect between changing the angle of the tablet, because obviously with a display tablet it's a lot more intuitive to just shift the angle of the display tablet and then draw the line, because when you're in your sketchbook you're probably rotating it all the time to get that kind of comfort angle where your arm is moving, an angle that your muscle memory is comfortable with or whatever, but because your non-display tablet has no display, sometimes I just completely forget that I can literally just shuffle it around on my desk and move it if I want to get a line at a different angle. Or you can rotate your Photoshop document, can't you? Pretty sure. Let's see. Do we need more? Something. Not a massive fan of this, like, palette fence. I guess if we give it a bit more detail, it's not too bad. It just makes the tank look pretty tiny. Maybe that's my fault. Maybe I've drawn it wrong. But now we can have fun with some like scattering, spacing, messing about. You just change the spacing on your brush in brush settings. It's on brush tip shape. And then we should just be able to a little bit. We should just be able to get all of this beading. It's not beading, but it looks like beading. Get it in the negatives. That's nice. The hotkeys are not for me. I've either rebound R to the smudge tool. So I would have to rebind, rotate again if I wanted to use it, which is right. There's our tank. I am pretty tempted to leave it like that. I don't like a lot of the background, but yeah, right. While I finish off parts of this, do you want a pistol or a bolt action rifle next? Possibilities are endless. As long as those possibilities are a pistol or a bolt action rifle. Thank you, Victor. Right, pistol it is. There's your tank. There's a border. Save it. And then I will go for a little drink break, and I will be right back. Yes, yes. Gaze upon me with my fancy transitions. What wondrous transitions. I want to try and get some different approaches for each of these studies. You know, I don't want them to all be kind of monotonous, so I'm thinking we try and actually draw this one, which may be difficult for the exact reason we've been talking about. Ellipses are apparently my death. Right. Can you see that? Am I drawing really, really lightly? I probably am. Christ. There we go. It seems like I've never drawn a gun before, because I haven't, or at least not as a study. I've designed guns, but I should probably brush up on my perspective skills. where that silence is going to start. Hmm. Wrong. Loudest object known to man. Let's Right, now I guess I can start kind of going over all the areas that are going to be in shadow. See how well this works as some sort of like method. I don't know. Haven't tried to apply it to something like I've got before, but can't be all that bad. Pew pew indeed. We're ending up with something approximating a gun, I think. It looks pretty much like a gun to me. I think it could do with a lot more work. But if we now do that, and then we can then we're probably gonna have a go with slightly wonky perspective. But I'm fine with that. And just colorize it and make it blue. And then work on some material definition bits, like kind of like a deeper blue. Silencer is gray. So we can get that in. I got to differentiate the handle. This is probably gonna have a darker local value. We want this shadow here to be a bit wider on the handle. So there. Oh, I think we've got something pretty nice. Well, for how long it's taken, at least. There are a couple of things out and about, like different screws, and God help me, the texture of this. Which I think I'll just. Oh no. I'm pretty happy with what we've got here. I'm happy enough that I can leave it. Oh, we should get the silencer. Of course. Then can we grab the line drawing? I don't know if yet. One thing we do need is the side of this silencer. Don't think it. I think I've warped the perspective a fair bit. So it's gonna look a bit odd. But that's that. Right. It's time to save it, and then we just have one ref left. Actually, it'd be interesting to see if we can like lay it sideways, maybe. I don't know. And then the last ref is just going to be a rifle. Right, time for me to go and get a drink. Hello. And we're on to the last final ref. Which is this. And once again we might try a different approach. Because it's always good to try a different approach. Like every time. I wonder what approach we should try though. Because that's the real question. Is how about we color it in with a pattern stamp? How about that? Like very kind of loosely. It's been a while since I've like scribbled a painting. I used to do it all the time. I used to be very deliberately messy, and then I would clean it up after the fact, but I started becoming more controlled in my paintings, how I like to paint. But that's like a that seems to be a pretty good result. So that worked. Like just and then maybe we go back to this idea of using a pattern stamp again. Quite like the way the pattern stamp functions. This whole thing is like that basically. Same again. The which can be something like that. I think it's a bit closer to. How about got this nice purpley grey. Tone on it. And then the concept. And we're ending up with something that's a lot messier than the previous gun, but just as fun, I think. And what's more important than fun, hey? Probably lots of things. And there you go. There's your rifle. I think I'm gonna end it there. Thank you for coming. That was kind of a quick last one, but we had a Saleh German helmet, a World War One tank, or very early World War Two, a pistol, and this kind of very textury, pattern stampy rifle, which I need to just make sure that ellipse is there. These do go up on YouTube, so you can see how I made all of those if you are inclined to do so. Thank you for coming. Right, bye bye.